So recently I received an email from a subscriber asking a few questions related to this topic: making friends, missing loved ones, and a bit of traveling. I just thought it'd be a really good idea if I just answer them in this video, and there'll be a few people out there that can relate. You know, migrating to another country, in the beginning it's all about the excitement of exploring a new country, starting a new life, starting a new chapter. It opens you up to so many different opportunities and meeting new people, and you have no idea what to expect, but it has its challenges. So one question I received was about making friends and whether I had friends in Sydney before I moved here. So initially I actually went over to Perth and I was there for around 4 months. I had some relatives there which I was unaware of, and I didn't really know them that well, but the lifestyle there wasn't really for me. So my wife and I decided to move over to Sydney. We wanted more of a city life with lots of opportunities and activities and events to go to, because I'm from the Midlands in the UK and it's pretty quiet there. So it's not like I was from London coming to Sydney. And coming over to Sydney, I was aware of a couple of friends that were here, but other than that, I didn't really know anybody at all. And the way you get to meet people is actually through your own family and friends. They usually know someone that's moved to Sydney or other parts of Australia, and you just tend to exchange numbers and then make the effort to contact them and go out for lunch and meet them for a walk or whatever the case may be. And that's exactly what happened in my situation. We got invited to like birthday events and other special occasions, and during those times you get to meet their friends who you might click with and form a connection with. And that's how I managed to make more friends here. The more events and gatherings I went to, the more people I got to meet. And the people that you click with, you tend to just exchange numbers. You've just got that inner knowing that you want to meet them again because they were fun, uplifting, exciting, and you had something in common with them. And you might also be surprised to know, especially if you haven't migrated to another country yet, but your colleagues actually end up being close friends of yours, because a lot of those people, they're in the same boat as you and they've migrated over from another country, so they don't know many people either. And it's actually a really good way to learn about different foods and different ways of living and different cultures and different languages and so forth. It's more of an opportunity than if you're stuck in the same place and you're used to the same people and the same routine, where this kind of opens your mind up and you learn so much more. But one thing I have to admit is no one can replace your best friends. I've got best friends back in the UK and I miss them like crazy because I haven't found anyone that has the same sense of humor, that we can bounce off each other. And we also have that nostalgia of the history together that we've spent and the things that we've done as we were growing up. I find that something quite special. I do wish I had a best friend here, but the friends I have made here are all great people. There's just that deep connection that you have with your best friends because you've known them for such a long time. Nothing can replace that. That's just something you have to sacrifice. And that actually leads me on to the next question. Do you find that you drift away from your close friends and family back at home in the UK? And the honest answer is you do, unfortunately, but not to the extent that you may think. I find that the friends and family that are closest to you, whenever you reunite and you go revisit them, it feels like you've never been away at all and you just kind of pick up where you left off. And that I find very special. And I found that I'm going through some health issues, so my circumstance isn't the same as most people, but I think it's important to make the effort to keep in touch, to send a message here or there, to have a video call or an audio call every now and then, to keep that relationship maintained. It's not the end of the world, but it does make a difference. Same goes with family members. I think the ones that you're closest to, especially your immediate family, you're going to be in contact fairly regularly anyways. But that physical touch, the physical presence, is quite unsettling in the beginning. You get used to it over time. As long as you're able to fly back home every now and then and reunite with everyone, like, it makes the biggest difference. And the time that you do spend together is just a bit more memorable. It's a bit more quality time. It feels like you're creating true memories rather than just living out your daily routine. So the key point I want to make is I think it's important to make the effort to keep in contact, and hopefully you go back every now and then. It's not like you lose friends, I don't think that's ever the case. It's only for the people that maybe you weren't so close to. You might lose contact with all of them, but the ones that you are close to, I think that friendship and that relationship with the family can be maintained quite well as long as you make the effort and you get to hear from them or see them from time to time. Plus, it just makes you feel good, doesn't it? It just makes you feel good to talk to someone that you've known for years and just to see how their life is and maybe be inspired by one another, or just some banter and just some jokes. Like, it makes the world of difference, I find. Another question was around whether I fly back to the UK or whether family comes to visit me. So my circumstance is completely different to most people because of health issues, but from all the friends and even my wife, they travel back home probably every year or two. And that 24-hour journey by flight, yeah, it sounds quite daunting, it sounds really exhausting, but you'd be surprised how quickly you get used to it. And it doesn't actually feel that bad, because I know for many people migrating, one of their big criteria are to be close to home so they can go see their parents, for example. But with the quality of life here, it's just incredible. And the 24-hour journey back home feels like nothing now. And I have had people come to visit, and it's such a great feeling to reunite with your friends and your family and to take them around and to explore different parts of Sydney and Australia. I love it when that happens. I haven't been able to see everyone, but for the people that have, I've loved every single minute of it. And you know, there's always that time when you try and convince them to move over as well, just to show them the best of the best that Sydney has to offer. You know, it never really happens, but there's no harm in trying though. And also, when family and friends do come over, the time spent together, it feels like quality time rather than just your weekly routine of going to work and catching up with them on the weekends. You tend to really enjoy yourselves together because you're essentially on holiday, or they feel like they're on holiday. And to be honest, I've been here 10 years and I still feel like I'm on holiday in Australia, especially with like the weather and the number of places you can see and visit and explore. So you end up making memories and you cherish those times together, knowing that you may not see them for a while. When you're with them, you start reflecting on the past. You laugh, you cry, you talk about life experiences, about past memories. You probably end up asking, especially like your parents, questions you wouldn't have normally asked if you saw them regularly, because you know that your time is quite finite, their time is quite finite, and you want to learn and know more about them. And it's just a great opportunity when they do come over to do exactly that. And the last question is a little bit unrelated, but I might as well answer it, is now that I'm in Australia, where do people generally go for holidays? Because in the UK, you tend to go to different parts of Europe. And I must admit, I wish I went to more European countries and not the standard Spain and Portugal and Greece. I kind of wish I explored like Switzerland, Austria, Norway, and places like that. It's a shame, but I found that a lot of people tend to fly back home, make a visit with their family, which doesn't really feel like a holiday. Sometimes it can feel more like obligation. People tend to go back for like weddings and events and stuff, and you're not really exploring new things. You're just revisiting places and foods and people that you've known for most of your life. So it's more about spending time with the people that you want when you go back. And a holiday is probably when you divert away to a European country on the way back or on the way there. I found a lot of people do that, and even Dubai seems to be a really good stopover where Emirates usually changes over. And whenever you're in the UK, you kind of miss Australia quite badly, and you look forward to coming back here because of the holiday feel that it gives you. But going back to the question, which I don't think I've even answered yet, where do people go on holiday? They tend to go to different parts of Australia because it has everything you want in a holiday, and there's so much to explore here. Otherwise, it'll be places like New Zealand, sometimes even Fiji. They go to Bali, they go to parts of Asia, even Hawaii. I've made a couple more videos of my experience in Sydney as a UK expat, so feel free to check them out. And if you resonate with anything I mentioned in the video, or you have any questions, feel free to mention them in the comments. And hopefully this was of some value to you, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.